You don't, like, push the wagon in or anything. The wagon just stays where it is and then gets deconstructed. Just 2 kobolds? I mean, you can just let them take the stuff. As long as they don't take your anvil, you're good. Like, really? As long as they don't take your anvil, you're good. You're gonna confuse the new players. Stone. But yes, you have to kill the wagon. We're going to let's pillage. We're not gonna raise. We're gonna pillage. We're not gonna steal other items. We're not gonna steal livestock. We're just going to steal important treasures and release prisoners. Good luck, dwarves. We're going to go pillage strapped scorpion. Yes, you deconstruct. So the wagon in Dwarf Fortress is listed as far as the game's concerned. It is a living creature. The game considers the wagon to be a living creature, which is kind of hilarious. It's one of those like, yep, that's a thing. Dwarf Fortress things. But yeah, you have to deconstruct the wagon and then build stockpiles for everything. I'm gonna, oops, that's not the button I wanted to hit. My hand was one key too far over. How many dwarves don't have beds? Good number of dwarves don't have beds. Yep, you need somebody with the carpentry skill to do it. So, anybody with woodworking can... Basically, anybody with, like, any kind of woodworking skill can do that, I think. I think bowers can do that, but, yeah. You should have at least one carpenter in your fortress to make beds. I don't... That's not really true. Not in the current version. They used to, but not anymore. I mean, they can still get destroyed, yeah, if something attacks them, but they don't just randomly get stuck up in trees. Things almost never get stuck up in trees anymore. A couple of years ago, yeah, but now, not so much. I mean, it still can happen, but it's not common. Like, I haven't had a single problem with a wagon getting stuck somewhere in this entire install, in this entire world. And I've had this world running now for quite a while, actually. Need to punch something in my phone before I forget. My blood sugar's pretty high today and it sucks, but it's fine. We're getting through it. Trying to bring it down, so I'm trying to track it. You know, you need to put a sign in your fridge. I do this sometimes when I know that I'm going to be really, really high. Bastet, is I put a sign in my fridge that says, "You're not hungry, you're high, drink water." Kind of saved me last night, because I was like, I don't know. I'd eaten dinner, and I was just like lying on my sofa, and then I'm like, man, I have munchies. And I get up, and I walk over to my fridge, and I saw the sign in my fridge. I was like, right. And I went back, and then I just went to bed. It's the smart thing to do. So, I recommend doing that. But you do you, and you're not known to take my advice, so. You ate a cookie today? What kind of cookie? I was offered a cookie the other day, but I didn't have any needles with me, so I couldn't eat a cookie. That's fine, I didn't feel like stabbing myself with needles. They stopped reaching the trade depot. Usually it's if they don't make it to your trade depot, Netfunders, it's probably because it's inaccessible. For one of many reasons. There's a lot of reasons why it could be inaccessible. That's usually the case. How are we doing? Oops, that's the wrong stockpile. How are we doing on steel? 125. Steel helm, 20. Steel breastplate, 20. Steel gauntlet, 20. Steel greaves, 20. Steel high boot, 20. Be a bunch of armor that needs to get done, but it'll be good. Dwarves will like it. I'll have plenty of crafting jobs, which is good for everyone. There's a red sea. Select it with K and see what it is. Could be a kitten. Could be a crundle. Could be a... I don't know. What else is a lowercase c? It's red. A chicken. It could be many things. Oh, peanut and chocolate. Ooh. It's located outside in front of the main entrance. Have you tried hitting Shift D? Like, if there's a lot of trees, it's very possible there is just no wagon access. But I mean, they can still trade with you even if there is no wagon access. That's why they walk to you. DBF, is it forbidden? Or DBC? Hit DB and then C. Is it green? Right, so our report from pillaging this goblin pit. The Crimson Pulley attacked the Devil of Ghouls at the height of praises its strapped scorpion. The dwarf Mestos Hambloka led the attack, and the defenders were led by the goblin Niglusu, Pink Evil. Pink Evil. Oh, that's funny. Pink Evil outmatched the dwarf. No, really? Wow. Hambloko is like unstoppable, or has been previously. So we lost somebody named Eusteth. A tooth was torn. Imush was damaged, or was struck down. We apparently clashed with 22 trolls and then ran. So we lost 2 dwarves. It's unfortunate. Yeah, you need a trade depot. You can build it late, though. I wouldn't worry too much about trading early on. Just make sure that you request things. You set priorities. You can kind of get away by selling them almost anything. If you want, like, some tips on what things sell for a lot early on that are easy to get, there's a few things. The easiest one probably being menacing wooden spikes, spike traps. Trading used to work, and then at some point the merchants started to immediately pack their things, reaching the depot and getting stuck on the map. So when you say that it used to work, okay. I'm assuming you're on the most recent version. You might retire. So I ran into problems with a fortress similar. This was a while, one of the holiday fortresses I think that I did. Where traders would spawn at the edge of the map and then just sit at the edge of the map the entire time. And I asked about it on Reddit, and somebody responded saying that usually if something like that is happening, it means that it is highly likely that there is a battle going on just off map, or like an active evil faction just off map. And odds are pretty good that they are getting stuck between you and fighting. But aside from that, I don't know. Being honest with you, I don't really know. I don't know how many stone detailers I have, so I'm going to assign some stone detailers. Doesn't really matter who does the job, because dwarves love stone detailing. It's one of their favorite jobs. There you go. So apparently I managed to lose all of my stone detailers. This is going to be a flow zone. We're going to make this into our Farmers Guild Hall. Did I fly past you? Highly likely. It's almost like these should be in alphabetical order. There it is. 12 guild members. There you go. The Bearded Bear. That's a great name. There's a lot of ambushes and sieges. Yeah, if you're getting ambushed frequently, it's possible that there's like a group or somebody just waiting right off map, like maybe even camped right next to you, which wouldn't show up on your map and you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't know it's there unless you were in adventure mode. But it's possible there's like something like sitting right next to your map that's like fucking with the accessibility of your settle spot. That is certainly a possibility. That would be my suspicion, but I can't say for certain. I am, you know, I have very harsh feelings about you talking about food like that in my chat and munchies. So do me a favor for my own sanity. And if you're going to make food, make yourself food. I don't need to know about food connected to drugs, connected to munchies and all that. I don't. Bastet. I've talked to you about this before. So enjoy your mashed potatoes if you make mashed potatoes. But you're talking to somebody who is very limited on the amount that he can actually eat every day because of like dietary restrictions. So I don't want to know. Like, enjoy your food and enjoy your gummy, but like, please just spare me the pain. I do have them assigned now to go after more silver ore, which is further up than I thought it was, it seems. Right there. There's some. Let's also build one there and do the exact same thing on this spot. Oh, that's the wrong, that's designating. I want you to automate, please. And let's also build some floor tiles right there. Get those mined out as well. Yeah, if there's a lot of ambushes and sieges happening, that all kind of just makes sense. Kind of sucks, but it's one of the... Oh. No, that wouldn't affect it. I was going to say, also, if you have more than 3,000 dead, then... If you have more than 3,000 dead dwarves, it's possible that... or 3,000 dead on your map, it's possible that... You could stop getting, like, visitors, but that's not selected to that. Can you set up an area for trading? No, you make a trade depot, which is a capital D in the build menu, and requires a dwarf with architecture assigned, which is a job that is listed under, it's the first one under other jobs, so architecture. So you need to have a dwarf with architecture. And then make it out of the material that you have the most abundance of. So if it's wood, a wooden trade depot, and then you need to have a broker assigned, which is this job, under the nobles menu. And your broker is the one that does the trading. Tables. Make 2 gold tables. My mayor is demanding tables. Ghost is telling me to make tables. Ghost just wants me to make their IKEA furniture for them. That's factually incorrect, actually. No, it's not elves that are the root of all evil. Elves are actually probably the least evil faction in Dwarf Fortress. Considering, like, their laws are, like, far and away the most reasonable. You're attributing blame where there is none. An unfortunate meme, though. Heresy? That's who? I'm not being racist. You are. Dude, you need to stop rewatching The Happening. That's a really bad movie. Only, so I'm telling you. Like, I know M. Night Shyamalan has fans, but, like, God, that is a terrible movie. You can see all the faction alignments on the wiki if you must, but the evilest faction in dwarves, aside from demons, are humans. You want an IKEA table? True, sorry, I didn't realize that may have been a soft spot. Your fisher is injured and horrified by the kobold battle. If you have some beds, make a zone by hitting I, and then hit H and assign it as a hospital. Just a recommendation. Maybe put some beds in it, assign a chief medical dwarf, and give them all of the medical jobs. You may need to make crutches or splints, potentially, but it'll be worth it. Now, elves are actually the best faction to be peaceful with because they're super boring and easy to fight. There's no logical reason to fight with elves. You don't even get good materials from killing them. You just get wooden stuff that's useless. They tend to only populate forests, and large portions of the world won't even have elves in it. They're chill. Some guy on Reddit who's reposting racist stereotype memes from 4chan. So unless you want to be the guy reposting stupid memes, it's just not worth it. So don't make us dive into this unless you really want to. Some elves are mean, sure. But some dwarves are mean. Dwarf Fortress has a very efficient and effective perspective on how it generates and processes its internal racisms, and the way dwarves and other factions and other characters within the worlds tolerate other people. Everything you're saying is actually factually incorrect. Yes, they are cannibalistic, but it's ritualistic after warfare. They're the only faction that will attack you without the goal of killing every single one of the people in the location. They just want to scare you and make you fuck off and stop chopping down their trees. They ask you to chop down less trees every so often. If you are chopping down too many trees and you have royalty in the area, they will address you directly and ask you politely to cease chopping down the trees, or as politely as they're capable of it. And then you just obey, because they ask for you to chop down maybe 120 trees a year, which in no logical case would you have to chop down more than 120 trees a year. So it's perfectly reasonable to abide by their request, and not difficult at all to trade with them and avoid breaking down their cultural requests. So you claiming that they're the rate of all evil, when generally the dwarves are the ones invading their lands, walking in and killing their trees. I really don't want to have this argument with you, but I don't like people using fantasy characters as an analog to play around with racist stereotypes in my chat. If, I'm not even going to respond to anything you say, Ned. Sorry, but you're losing a lot of respect from me. It's a shame. The value of this room right now. Might actually hit the value it needs to be by the time it hits the end of this polishing sequence. Generally, people who end up at war unintentionally with elves are simply not very good at the game. Just as an example, I had magma forges set up within the first 3 months of this fortress existing. As a result, I've only needed to chop down maybe 20 trees a year, if that, to make some beds and make charcoal to make steel. Like, one tree drops about 8 logs, if that. Oh, the Red Sea? Oh, the Red Sea in the top left of the screen, like where the S is, that just means that there's been combat. If you hit R on your keyboard, you'll get the report screen and it'll show you what the combat is. So literally all you're doing is you're arguing racist stereotypes from 4chan. That is who you are arguing in support of. Ned Flanders. Dwarf Fortress came from 4chan, right? Like, that's where it gained a lot of its initial popularity. So there's a lot of really crappy memes that have stuck with it. And as somebody with some influence over Dwarf Fortress, I'm doing my damnedest to point at that and say, hey, less of that, please. You're totally allowed to go to war with elves and do whatever the hell you want. But if you start saying things like they're the root of all evil, think about what you're saying a little bit before you say it. And if you're going to just continue arguing down this hole, the only person who looks silly is you. Where are you? What are you going for? Like a boulder in there or something that I can't see? Oh, it's a gem. Okay. Care to elaborate, Chubbs? What? Let's see what else you need. The sad part is that this was only a possession and not a fey mood. Be nice to get you out of that Fisher Dwarf job. Be better for everybody, frankly. Around giant golden trees? Fair enough. I know very little about the lore of Elden Ring, I'll be honest with you. Like, I've watched some speedruns of it, but that's about it. I know very little about that game's wider lore. Very little. Speaking of wider lore, how is the exploration into the wider lore of Vampire Survivors knockoffs, Bellinair? Thank you much for the raid. I hope your stream was good. You had a lot of fun? Fair enough. I mean, that one actually looks pretty okay, because you were playing Nomad Survivors, right? If I'm not mistaken. But thank you much for the raid. Cheers, dude. If you guys don't know Bellinair, he plays a variety of video games over at twitch.tv/Bellinair. And one day in the far future, he may play Dwarf Fortress again if we pester him enough. So chat, you guys have to go pester Bellinair to play Dwarf Fortress. So go follow him so that you can get a reminder to pester him when he's online tomorrow to go play Dwarf Fort. You think it might be a better game too? I mean, I can tell you that 10 minutes till dawn is a better game, and it's not even the full version. It's like the free demo for 20 minutes till dawn. And if 10 minutes till dawn is already a much better game, 20 minutes to dawn will also be a much better game. Hey, Infinity. Infinity, I got bad news. Your dwarf kind of died. It was real sad. Big, scary, forgotten beast with webs made you go bye-bye. And I'm sad. Very sad about it. But regardless. But, you know, the way those games kind of expand, I would assume it'll probably expand at a pretty quick rate, so. It's kind of funny to me, Belliner. It's like, it's not hard for games to be better than Vampire Survivors. They just need to actually, like, you know, be planned to be expandable, interesting games instead of just, you know, being kind of a mess of not much of anything, which is what Vampire Survivors kind of is. Was a worthy cause. I mean, your dwarf, like, is practically a fucking legend for this fort. Like, you traveled between 3 different forts and had like 60 kills or something. You had a full title and everything. It's kind of incredible, actually. Your dwarf did damn well. Oh, also, just looping back around to the previous conversation slightly, because we were talking about problems with characters trading, if you're trading with elves, you'll never have problems with elves making it to your trade depots because they don't bring wagons. Unless they could walk between the trees, no problem. Just thought I'd shout that out. You weren't aware of that many? Well, to give you an idea, where is he? Ambloco, this dwarf. This dwarf was essentially your student to a degree, because this dwarf was in one of your squads and was a novice recruit in one of your squads at one point, who has 36 other kills and 4 notable kills, including a forgotten beast and several named goblins and a dwarf. Rakast Hole Spurting the Larval Waste. That's a distressing name. So, you know, fought alongside you, which is impressive. I just hope I can catch some more gnomes. Need some more gnomes to show up on the map. Which one is that one? Giant scaly bristleworm. What a weird thing. Oh, hey, there we go. Inod. Cog use shat. Ew. The fish dissector has created Funedimul, a linen dress, and claims it as a family heirloom. Where it be? There it be. Worth 57,840. Living lurk. This is dedicated to my chat. And many Twitch chats around Twitch. This is a linen dress. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with linen and pig bone and encircled with bands of oval and gabbro cabochons made from linen cloth, and this object menaces with spikes of beak dog leather and clear tourmaline. On the item is an image of Christiel's and spikes of beak dog leather and clear tourmaline. On the item is an image of Christiel's the adamantine warhammer in linen. On the item is an image of a large roach in peridot. On the item is a image of a scimitar in copper. On the item is an image of 2 alders in gabbro. Cheers for the lurker artifact. It's art for a fact. Also, Bellinair, I'm here to remind you that you need to, I realize you're making pie and you probably can't hear me. You need to credit Cooler with your, with your emotes. Also, I need to credit somebody else. Yalad Warder for my skulls. I can't wait for emote accreditation to be a requirement from people buying emotes or making emotes. It's like, you have to credit me. Also, investments are open if you want to invest your tickets. Let's see what we spotted down here in this corner. Not much, just a dead Drothla and cobwebs. Just note that your militia commander cannot do medical jobs while they are training or active in a military squad. Keep in mind with that. Also that, like, are you talking about the same Fisher who's in the military? Yeah, absolutely. Elves can be annoying, but you know who else can be annoying? Humans. You know who else can be annoying? Goblins. And if you actually look at like faction alignments and tendencies, humans and goblins are far and away significantly eviler than elves. The only evil thing that elves do is they ask you politely to not kill their friends, and they ask you kind of bluntly and rudely to not kill their friends. They don't want to buy wood, and they don't like, what's the word? Oh, and they like to eat their dead after battle. But you know who also liked to eat their dead after battle? A fucking Maori. Like anybody from New Zealand. So it's like, just... you don't need to disband them. Just hit S, select the squad that has that militia commander in it, select it, and then press T to make sure that they are not active in training. Because right here it says... active, like schedule or schedule or whatever. And it says active training. If it says active training, hit T so that it says that they are inactive. And then they can do the medical stuff. They don't actually need a bed. They'll, even if there's just an empty zone, they will tend to their wounds. The thing is, the more bits of furniture and stuff you have in the hospital, the better work the doctors can do. Like if they're just lying on the ground, then they're going to do a worse job if they have to do surgery. But if they have a table, then they can put them on the table and do surgery on the table, and they'll do a better job, basically. You'll get less scars and such. But to kind of elaborate a little bit, Ned Flunders, the reason I'm a little bit sensitive and bitchy, I guess, about people just blindly hating on elves for no logical reason is there's a lot of old, admittedly, screenshots of Dwarf Fortress and people who've been playing Dwarf Fortress for a very long time who aren't permitted in like the current main communities, like in the Kitfox Discord, on the subreddit, and the forums and places where the majority of the community congregates. There are some people who aren't allowed. And those people come from the OG days of 4chan, right? And let's just say that those people like to make a habit of collecting as many elves as possible and locking them in a room and then setting them on fire with swastikas drawn in the walls. So when you memify your hatred towards elves, that is that group's sense of humor. Yes, you can go murder elves. Have fun. They're not the root of all evil. People are the root of all evil. Uh-oh. Why is one of my dwarves in a martial trance? What the fuck's going on? Buzzard. You're in a martial trance fighting with a buzzard. Okay, that's kind of hilarious. Fantastic. I think that buzzard's probably dead. In fact, I would argue that the evilest creature in Dwarf Fortress is probably Kia's. And not any of the intelligent species. One person in your military to be infected by a Warakoti is the wife of the bear. I'm sorry for laughing. Man, you got to avoid her. Oh, that's too funny. Also kind of sad, but that is very funny. Not sure what to do. So your options are, you could try and seal her off from the rest of the fort like I did with my one were creature. If you go to the nobles screen, you can actually replace the mayor manually by selecting them and hitting R, and then just selecting any dwarf. You can pick any mayor that you want, and you can replace it and then expel both of them. That's something you could do. You could drop a rock on her head. That's something you could do. Yeah. Now that the dwarf is resting Red Knight, if there's specific requirements that that dwarf needs, the game will give you red notifications of them, so keep an eye on your notifications. So if they need a splint, for example, you might need to make splints. If they need a bucket, and a water supply, you might need to get them that. But depending on the wounds that the dwarf has, it may take them a little bit to heal. Most evil people, artifact recovering creatures, they stop at nothing. Yeah, those little twats that just show up that are like, hey, it's my quest to retrieve, I don't know, Thimbayad's Thornwing, the granite ring. I've traveled far and wide to find this wondrous treasure. And then you're like, dude, we made that 3 weeks ago. And they're like, it's been calling to me as long as I've been alive. I request this for my treasury. It's like, no, fuck off. Those people. Usually put the curse behind bars with a crossbow squad watching it. If they turn, they're shot down. That's also something you can do. I kind of like trapping them, like this dwarf who just lives here. But, you know. You could also, like, chain them in a tower and pretend they're Rapunzel. A Hammerlord gets... So this Hammerlord keeps getting dive bombed by a buzzard. And Bombwreck just got dive bombed by this buzzard, and he goes, I cannot stand by. This might require an answer. I have a part in this. I might require an answer. I cannot stand by. This might require an answer. And it's just very funny to me. The upper right leg fractured. The upper leg is dented. The lower leg, left arm is dented. There's another menu that I only just recently learned exists, where if you hit Z on the dwarf, select the dwarf and hit Z. I think it's Z. I guess they need to actually have medical history for it to work. There's a medical history menu, which I'm not seeing now. You might have some medical history. Nope. Interesting. Maybe... I wonder if it's because I don't have a chief medical dwarf. Might be. Yeah, so if you have a chief medical dwarf assigned, you can go to this screen, which is the medical history screen, and you can actually like look at specifically what they need. So like this dwarf here, has medical history. They're thirsty right now. They have no wounds, no treatment scheduled, but previously, they were diagnosed with inebriation. As you could be diagnosed with inebriation. But yeah, that's a thing. Usually as a quarantine measure, some people are bruised in fights but not infected. This is true, yes. What I did was I turned my tavern into a hospital. They put all of the wounded dwarves, which were all infected, or most of them were, into the hospital. And then I segmented off the hospital into that tiny room and told all of the dwarves that were potentially not infected, that had no injuries, to go hide in that room, and then split it in half. Yeah, so you select a dwarf, you hit Z, and if you have a chief medical dwarf assigned in the nobles menu, you then have access to this screen, which is H, which is the health screen. And you can see what wounds they have, what treatment they need, and the history for their medical problems. So like here, this dwarf has no health problems, no wounds, no treatment, once was brought to rest like 50 years ago. This dwarf currently has wounds, issues with their elbow. Apparently their thumbnail is smashed apart. But no treatment is necessary. So, stuff like that. Which probably means they just healed poorly. But yeah, this tavern here is a very multi-purpose tavern. It's our tavern, it's our hospital, and our prison! You get chained up right next to the barrels full of alcohol so you can still drink. Man, we exactly at 99 dwarves. You know, we're gonna go after these goblins down here. If I can find one that doesn't have like 200, potentially 1,000 baddies that I can't see here. Ooh, before Sin crawled. We've actually got an artifact. Okay, that one we could go after. Wealth Devils. The Curses of Luster. Let's go after them. Hit them with Biggie Squad and the influential tomes in the description. We're just going to free prisoners and take important treasures. Maybe kill people. Good luck, dwarves. There goes the squads that are heading out for combat. Another fucking buzzard, my god. Eurovision Song Contest happened last week. I mean, if you are active on social media, it's pretty easy to know about it. Like, I usually watch the highlights from Eurovision Song Contest just because I find it entertaining, but, is it known outside of Europe? Yeah. Is it hyper popular? I mean, no. But people know it exists. If that's what you're asking. People do certainly know that the Eurovision Song Contest exists. All I will say is, I don't know why giving a banana to a wolf would stop it from eating my grandma. That's the thing I have to say about the Eurovision Song Contest. Also, upper leg fracture, owie. Sorry, I'm doing a real bad job of reading Twitch chat today. Migrants, yay! Maybe I'll get a good doctor. But yeah, that is my main takeaway from the Eurovision Song Contest this year is why exactly does giving a banana to a wolf stop it from eating my grandma? I mean, it's got to be some sort of like European thing. There's always crappy songs, some really good ones too. Sweden was always consistently good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say that the songwriting of Subwoofer is give a wolf a banana to stop it from eating your grandma. I'm not going to say that that is a well-written song. It was amusing and entertaining for sure. You know, they're pop in Sweden. Sweden cursed us all with the existence of ABBA, so they better. Pie in the oven. Welcome back, Belle. What kind of pie, I can ask? So, Bellinair, this is my proud achievement from this fort. I have 2 gnomes. I'm even providing them with booze. They have their own little booze stockpile right next to the gold chains that they're strapped to. Tuna quiche? Okay, that is much more accurate as pie. At least over here, we would refer to a pie as something that is generally sweet, not savory. But your animal caretaker will be your new medic. That's like me going, oh, you were a veterinarian at one point in your life. You get to be the settlement's doctor in like every survival game ever. But yeah, we have gnomes. I'm hoping we can catch some more so that I can get a breeding pair of gnomes. Finnish word is both for savory and sweet. Gotcha, yeah. You know, in English, at least around here, pie, unless specified otherwise, is almost always sweet. Something savory, it would either be specified either as a savory pie, like you'd specify, or call it a quiche. But sounds delicious. The last time I had a quiche, I bought one. It's been a really long time since I've made a quiche. You know, I just realized it would be very, very, very easy for me to just like dump some water into the lava caverns. Be fun. Might do that. Looks like I made somewhat of a suitable place. Well, I mean, it's a slow process, but learning Dwarf Fortress is never as difficult as people think it is. It's just kind of a matter of like wrapping your brain around the obtuse UI, and once you do that, it's like, oh, well, this game's actually quite easy. How are we doing on steel? Hey, there we go. Steel count's going up. Got charcoal. Excellent. Also trying to make those copper picks. More hammers out of silver. Actually, did they ever mine out that stuff? Yep, they also hauled it too. Let's mine out all that. Because this is what? Native silver? Smelt silver. Infinitely. You headed to bed? Or headed out, Whitcoat? Regardless. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Till next time. It'll be on tomorrow. You made a deer quiche for the wife when you started dating and she never left? In the first week me and my ex lived together, I made her roasted butternut squash, and she moved out 8 years later, so it didn't work. You're so upset? I'm always upset. That's my secret. What's upsetting you, Shizuka? Her loss sounds super yummy. I mean, that's why I still eat Roasted butternut. Now I'm growing my own. They didn't play Bleed? That's kind of like Darude not playing Sandstorm. Which is one of my favorite Twitch memes that everybody has forgotten. Because the second TwitchCon had a concert, and they had Darude, the very famous guy who's known really well for writing one song, Sandstorm. And he didn't play Sandstorm at TwitchCon. So Darude didn't play Sandstorm was the biggest fucking meme ever on Twitch for a minute. Yeah, you have to question Melanair, Cooler. Let's mine that. Oops, nope, I want to automate. Although, actually, maybe tempting a bunch of bads. So I'm going to deal with that. Yeah, and Dwarf Fortress is, I don't want to say about this, but Dwarf Fortress and its creators are very heavily focused and committed to diversity and inclusivity. And there's reasons why people largely get removed when they start bringing annoying xenophobic memes into Dwarf Fortress. Like, if that's the culture of the lore of the thing that you like, in the case of, let's just say, Warhammer, it's a little bit of a different thing because it's like, it's a criticism via absurdity, whereas Dwarf Fortress, like if I select a random dwarf, it is possible that this dwarf could be kind of racist. If you look at this white piece of text, it can say things like, doesn't easily trust others that appear unusual or live differently, which is about as far down that hole as a dwarf can go, which it just means they don't get along well with, characters that appear unusual or live differently. What question do you have, Cooler? What is your question, then? I feel like I've seen a band called Zeal before, but I might be confusing them with somebody else. Why is there only 5? You can attribute more than 5. You only have 5 badges, though. So you can attribute artists that do not have the artist badge. You can attribute literally anybody. Why do you only have 5 badges? I don't know. Yell at Twitch. That part is a little silly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when they added VIP badges, we only had 25 initially, and then they added ways to unlock more, and I have a feeling it'll probably be the same with this, but maybe I'm off base with that. So, yeah, it's just meme and community culture stuff that bothers me, Ned. It's not a directed at you thing, but it's one of those things where it's just like, in this Twitch channel, I don't really have a lot of rules, but essentially just like bigotry of any kind isn't tolerated. That's more or less where the rules of this channel begin and end, aside from like the joke rule of ketchup is illegal, naturally. But it does genuinely bother me when I see those memes getting reposted here, and I guess this is either a benefit or a problem for me, but like I have the ability to moderate my channel as I see fit, and for me it makes sense to call people out on that stuff, and I do not like it when I see it reposted. Okay, I do have slabs engraved. I just need to place them. I wonder if they're the band that I saw. I don't know. That does sound vaguely familiar. I've seen so many bands and I've forgotten half of them. So, like, I don't know. Although since we're talking about metal, I should take my hoodie off. But one of my favorite things that Dwarf Fortress does, is characters' tendencies and opinions can change based on where they live, right? So you could have like a really crappy goblin character that hates all other characters in the world, that has a kid, and then that kid's parents, who were really crappy, get killed, and that kid ends up moving in with a bunch of dwarves or humans or elves even. And by the time that child is finished growing up, their description looks entirely like a dwarf or entirely like an elf. Characters' perspectives are based on where they were raised and the people that raised them, not, you know, the color of their skin, which I think is one of the most interesting and also kind of powerful, even, pieces of world generation that Dwarf Fortress has. And I think that that's really interesting. You don't really get that out of a lot of games. But I'm real jealous you got to see Meshuggah regardless. Even if they didn't play Bleed. Let's see how this fight went. So we walked all the way across the world to go pester some goblins at the far end of the map, down in a haunted glacier. The Crimson Pulley attacked the curses of luster at the dread of scrapes at wreath devils. The dwarf Mestos Hambloco led the attack, and the defenders were led by the goblin Ikim, wither pleated. Hambloco outmatched the goblin with a cunning plan, and the attackers had a strong positional advantage in wealth devils. the fortress of Amazon, wealth devils. The silvery rings, brilliantly led by Hambloco, clashed with 21 trolls, slaying 9. The goblin Ikem's lower front tooth was smashed, and Ikem, their captain, was struck down by Kogan. Seems like it was just a bunch of trolls and a goblin there. Wow. Well, I guess we won. You had your best fort going, got raided, was clueless how to attack or defend. Time to start again. I got bad news. You turned into a were creature and died. Werebull, specifically, drowning. And then you did such a good job haunting your poor child that he's now running around and tantruming constantly. So thank you. You went and haunted your child to the point where, like, okay, well, they're actually getting some happy thoughts now. He was horrified after reliving being haunted by his own dead mother. Was literally the tagline. And also, being forced to endure the decay of your mother changed this child's tendencies, which is, he personally thinks it is of the utmost importance to present a bold face and never grouse or complain, or even show emotion after being forced to endure the decay of his mother, and deeply values introspection, and finds decorum to be a silly fumbling waste of time, a turnaround after wearing old clothing in 195. Half the concert wasn't sure if I was headbanging in the right time signature. Oh, that sounds like a fun show. When you're not sure if you're headbanging in the right time signature, you're at a good show. I bought a ticket, which I shouldn't have, but I did, as kind of an early birthday gift to myself, because it's shortly after my birthday. It's on the 11th of June. My birthday's on June 3rd. But I'm going to go see Blackwater Holy Light and a bunch of stoner doom bands. Not metal in the slightest, but, well, maybe kind of metal. I don't know. They're very fuzzy, is the way I describe it, but like fuzzy in the metal sense. Did your question? Should you attribute your own emotes to yourself? Was your question. I mean, you can. Why not? That would make sense. Emote by me. Why not? I'd say yeah. Sure. Little metal at least? Well, I mean, the bands that I'm seeing are Space Queen, who's a local band that I've never heard of before outside of this. Spirit Mother, who's been around for a bit. And then Blackwater Holy Light. Spirit Mother's a weird band because they're like a light rock, like a light psych rock band with like steel wool. Yes, naturally. Exactly like having steel wool brushed on your ears. Anyway. They're like this kind of fuzzy psych rock band, except they have a violin, which is kind of fun. So it just adds to the weirdness. But I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of mellow stuff recently. Pandemic has mellowed out not my music taste entirely, but the kind of concerts I've been going to are a lot more mellow. Also because there just hasn't been many thrash bands here recently, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. Would absolutely go see Havoc if they showed up or something. But yeah, why not attribute your own emotes to yourself? You know, actually I wonder. A lot of people are very excited about the emote accreditation thing. I wonder if the emote accreditation thing is a precursor to, yo, if your emotes are just Nintendo sprites, you're going to get sued. I do wonder. I'm still waiting for the day that Nintendo realizes that there's like thousands of streamers with just straight up ripped Pokemon sprites as their emotes that are actively making money off of that. I'm waiting for the day that like a bunch of people get banned for just straight up having Nintendo assets. Like not even like fan art, but like there's quite a few actually channels that just use stolen Nintendo artwork. That is actually something I'm now suddenly curious about. I wonder. Mario is not amused. Do not upset his lord, Mario. He will say it's a me at you. But yeah, and the next concert I get to go to is one that I actually bought a ticket for in 2019. Which got delayed. I don't even know how many times it got delayed, but it was like every 6 months it was like, we've delayed this leg of our tour by 8 months. Would you like to keep your tickets purchased? I was like, yeah. I will hang on to that ticket. And they kept delaying it, and eventually they meditate on song. Eventually they hold on a second. This book seems sus. Anyway, eventually, like, they finally booked it, and, like, they're actually gonna show up. So I'm gonna go see Holy Fuck at the end of this month, which I'm very excited about. That'll be a fun show. The Great Human is a 22-page essay entitled The Great Human, authored by Onmo Rival Wisps. It concerns the acceptance of the human Onmo Rival Wisp as a member of the Sins of Equivalence. In the mid-autumn of 105. The writing gives the feeling of compassion here and there and is forceful overall. It's not awful, but not very good either. That's a name. The Sins of Equivalence? I wonder what the Sins of Equivalence was. Yo? What are we yoing about? Holy fuck show? Yeah, holy fucking finally. Jesus Christ. I had to wait so long, which means actually I should let you guys know that there will be one stream this week that will, I'm sorry, only be like 9 or 10 hours long, because on the it'll be Tuesday the 31st, because I will have to go to that show around, I think I'll have to leave here about 6, which means I'll be able to stream for about 8 or 9 hours. About 9 hours, I would guess, if I pack lunch. But although I'm not entirely sure where that venue is, so it depends on where the venue is, how long it's going to take me to get there. But yeah, in order to go to that show, I will have to end stream early. So apologies for that, but I'm sure the wait will be worth. Oh my god. It's a lot of vandalism charges. The problem is like you can't actually give vandalism charges to children. Shirzul, long time. Hope you've been well. What's up, dude? Yeah, no, it's kind of amazing that you can't pin crimes on children. Because I've got like this child who's running around committing actual crime. Can't even like give him a prison sentence. God damn it. Dark Goblin Pits of Pack Thief. Let's go hit Pack Thief. They're right here. We're going to try and pillage. Not going to lead items, not going to steal all livestock. Let's go get them. Best of luck, dwarves. Go get them. It was gifted. Would be my guess. Actually, I can prove to you it was gifted. If you click on your username on Twitch, if there's a little gift icon right there, it means it was gifted. So if you go through your Twitch notifications, it might say who gifted it to you. How was your vacation, though? Or your holidays, I suppose. You go anywhere fun? I get to go on a holiday at the end of June, which I'm very excited about. I get to, I get to go, what's the word? About a month ago. So, I mean, that's fair. Might expire today. I don't know when Banana gifted subs last. When Banana last gifted subs. But, I don't know. Appreciate it, though. Because money's been slow since I swapped over to this schedule. Which is fair. I mean, I'm streaming 3 days a week instead of 5. So even though I'm streaming way longer hours, it's a bit harder to convince people to part with money. There you go. Your emotes are now attributed to you. Ain't that awesome? Now, if only I could figure out how to pay you for more artwork, because I got some thumbnail ideas, but I can't do it. Sup, fuck motherers? I don't know. What's up, hobos? Yeet. Hobo, I'm very curious. It's not shameless self-promotion. It's bragging about your art. That's fine. Hobo, so, can we all become really big fans of the e-scooter racing championships? I mean, if they're putting all that shit on YouTube, that's just fantastic. I like an hour and a half for like quali, practice, and 3 races. Absolutely. That sounds like some great weekend entertainment to me. Absolutely gonna watch that shit. Fuck MotoGP. I'm here for the electric scooter racing championships. The Middle Ages animal could be held accountable for things like theft. In Dwarf Fortress, you can do that, yes. Yeah, the dwarves call bullshit if you accuse animals. You know, when humans are finally a default playable race, the humans should, like, blame it on animals. Like, the humans be all like, dog did it. And the humans would be like, yes. And then blame it on the dog. Also, like, a necromancer walks into town and the humans are all like, it's a witch, burn it! It's a very human behavior. You're for it? Hell yeah. I was listening to the Shift F1 podcast this morning, and they mentioned it because they always shout out other racing series that are happening at the same time and new racing series. One of them was just like, oh, you know what's on YouTube now? The scooter. I got like 10 emails this morning about this scooter racing championship where they're racing scooters, electric scooters. I'm like, all right, I'm in. Let's go. I think that the thing is though, they need to replace their qualifying style with the exact same thing, except they have inflatable baseball bats. And then the last driver standing starts on pole. That is my pitch to improve e-scooter racing. Do they really call it e-scooter? Yep. Absolutely. They really call it e-scooter. Either that or we need to save the inflatable baseball bats for the electric unicycle racing series. One of the two. Oh hey, they're back. How did the fight against the goblins go? We attacked the tangled fiend of the renowned devil at Pack Thief. Hambloko led the attack, and the defenders were led by the goblin Lospu. Tattoo Shrivel. Hambloko, the dwarf, outmatched the goblin with a cunning plan, and the attackers had a strong positional advantage. Seems like they... Man, that's such a long name. The influential tomes led by the dwarf Normal Clout Orb, the Soaked Viper. That's his full name. Normal Clout Orb, the Soaked Viper. Clashed with 5 goblins, slaying them. Hell yeah. Formula Scoot, let's fucking go. All I'm saying is that when Lewis Hamilton finally retires from Formula One, I'm sure that the Electric Scooter Racing Championship is his retiring calling. That's got to be the Boosto button. Whenever you use it, you get like 3 swings, and if you miss, get better. Well, I mean, like, electric unicycles, those like single wheel things, like, I would watch people race those. Like, no question asked. I absolutely would watch people race electric unicycles. But if they're going to race electric unicycles, then they have to do that. Where they do 2-wheel tractor races? 2 wheels is in 2 big wheels and 2 tiny wheels in the front, right? What do they do with the rest of the wheels? Because tractors have 4. E-scooter drag racing? Except they have to be in drag if they're going to do e-scooter drag racing. That's what I'm talking about for anybody who's very confused, which is probably a lot of people. And then the very late end of this fight ended with us searching Pack Thief, and we found nothing. But it was a glorious victory. We're going to go raid them again, though. Except this time we're going to try and raise. Gonna wait for all the dwarves to get back first. Video is so quiet, though. It was fine when I was listening to it, but... Walking tractors? Like, the hell? I'm trying to imagine what a tractor with 2 wheels looks like. You know, when I was younger, I have this vivid memory of my dad listening to sports radio while we were working on, or while he was working on his truck, and I was just hanging out in the garage with him, watching him work on his truck. And my dad saying, "You know the difference between Canadians and Americans?" And me saying, "I don't know what." And he said, "Americans will race anything. Canadians only race logical things." Looked at him kind of funny. He goes, "Listen to the radio." Because he had the radio playing. Was playing AM talk radio, and I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I listened to it for about a minute. Then I asked him, "What are they talking about?" He goes, "Belt sanders." Like, what? He goes, "They're commentating over some dudes racing belt sanders." Which is just like, you know, a wood sander that you put on the ground and go... They apparently attach battery packs to them, and, like, Why that was commentated on talk radio, I don't fucking know. But it was. So, you know. Need a co-pilot to maintain balance. All right, that sounds like a fun afternoon. I'd go to that. Chumps, that sounds great. that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Very silly, but also like a lot of fun. For reference, this is what a belt sander race looks like. They put them on like these little tracks, and they race belt sanders. So, you know, America. Racing isn't speeding things up. No, racing isn't like racing belt sanders. I think that that's very funny. Very, very, very funny. You fail to see the problem there? What, racing belt sanders? There is no problem there. I mean, it sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, literally racing. Imagine having... Oh, man, the game did this thing again. So sometimes when Dwarf Fortress is finished saving on this save file, it minimizes Dwarf Fortress, and I don't know why. And every time it does that, I always think it crashed, and I always have, like, a heart attack, but it didn't. It's fine. We're good. Spring's arrived on the calendar. Imagine someone having a tricked out, zooped-up belt sander built for racing. You know, honestly, it reminds me of like racing, like soapbox cars almost, where you just like roll these fucking metal tubes down a hill. It's like, that's not safe at all, but certainly entertaining. That much is sure. There they go back out to raise more. How many kills do you have, Orange? Wow. That's a lot of kills. I'm just constantly amazed by how efficient these dwarves have been. Like, some of them not so much. Some of them are a little bit more modest. But for every single one that's, like, got, like, a modest number of kills, there's one that has, like, yeah, like, 40. And then there's, like, our goblin who's in this squad who's just, you know, sitting on 11. Doing all right. How about this one? 17? One troll. Well, you gotta pick up the slack there, Dwarf. How about you? One troll. Yeah, you've also got to pick up the slack. Okay, you got a goblin. You killed an angel. That axe dwarf's been with us for a bit. So many dwarves are working on rock blocks. But anyway, how's your day been, Hobo? I've just been, like, giddy over the fact that I learned that electric scooter racing exists. That's basically how my day's been. Then aside from that, just chilling. Today's been busy, but also kind of quiet in a lot of ways. So, good, but a little bit slow day. Did deadlifts at gym and exhaust? That to do it, for sure. Yeah. How much are you deadlifting now, if I can ask? Last time I deadlifted, I thought I was going to die the next day. It's been so long. I don't really do those types of exercises very frequently, so it's something that, like, on the rare occasion where I do them, I feel like I'm going to die for, like, a day afterwards. There was a bit there ages ago where I was all right at deadlifts. Never quite did get the lifting technique down, so every coach I ever had when I was in sports would just get real pissed at me whenever they'd see me do deadlifts. Never very good at them, but... Didn't do max, but 155. I think the heaviest I was ever lifting was like 110 pounds? I think it was 110. Respect to all weightlifters. Nicely done, folks. Yeah, I don't know. All of my... We've struck emerald? This might be the first emerald I've ever actually seen in Dwarf Fort. Are those emeralds? Damn! There's emeralds everywhere down here. I had no idea. Damn. Look at that. Huh. Emeralds. Neat. Just like I've never actually found diamonds in Dwarf Fort. Like a big old gem stockpile right there. Get some of these gems cut. The fact that we got emeralds around here, that was neat. Just looking around for other emeralds. That is neat. Yeah. Apparently we have emeralds. I was not aware. I feel kind of dumb, to be honest. I feel like I should have known that. So currently I'm trying to taunt the goblins into attacking us because I've got this guy, which is Angelrazor, Toomberries, which is a great feathered Hediosaurid, which has large mandibles and a bloated body. And it has clear feathers, which is strange to think about. Clear feathers, which are long and narrow. Beware its fire. And I have it trapped here. Hey! Anyway, I have it trapped in my trap, waiting for these guys to show up so that I can make them burninate them, which I'm excited about. So, is my squad here right now? No, they're not. Great. Well, that could be bad. Let's hope that that squad comes back quickly. They all left? Just making sure that they've all left. Yes, they have. So, I'm just going to turn both these on real quick. Get all these dwarves locked inside. Because all these G's and T's are here. They're wielding halberds? Interesting. Where are they from? Oh, they're from the Renowned Devil, a finely designed image of a bloodthorn. The image is a symbol of the Renowned Devil, goblin civilization. The Renowned Devil, of course, being not the hate of praises for once, but the Renowned Devil being a second goblin faction. Now, yeah, they have an axe troll, as well as a lot of beak dogs and a bunch of goblins. You came back at a good time? Yep, my army also isn't back in the fort yet, which is quite annoying. Well, it is the first siege of the day, too, Space Pirate. How big is this siege? That's pretty small, actually. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to just try... my fingers. Hope that my army doesn't come back for a little bit. pull this lever. Which should... Wait, where do you think you're going? Getting a drink. Oh, okay. Well, that is not optimal at all. Goblin, you're gonna get torched by Forgotten Beast. Welp. And a craft store shop was toppled by my outpost liaison. Let's turn off that burrow. Check in with that militia commander. Where are you at, militia captain? You're still going the wrong way. Going to run straight into a Forgotten Beast. You big stupid. You big stupid. Well, on the bright side, they're distracted by my livestock. What is my siege cap? 230. This is just the first siege from this faction, so it's not too strange that it's small. All right, well, I'm sorry, Dwarf. I'm gonna have to sacrifice you. Might actually be higher than 230, but I think it's 230. Pretty sure it's 230. Pull that lever again. The thing is, I can't even let this dwarf in the way they're supposed to come in. But I actually, never mind. I absolutely can. I'm going to pull this lever. Because they're all distracted over here right now with this shit. We'll slam that shut. Come on. Come on. Perfect. Okay, well, they managed to get 2 beak dogs. Oh, great. Now the army comes back. Well, this is so inconvenient. Why does the siege have to... Okay. Fuck. Okay, so I guess we're just going to do the thing. We're just going to do the thing the way I was going to do the thing, which is going to end with a dwarf dying, probably. We go up here. We pull this lever. It was the other goblin civ. There's 3 that we fight with. This one was... The renowned devil, the top one. There's also the dread of scrapes that we're fighting with. I do this. I think that's the right one. Let's jump. Sorry for all the jumping around here. This will hopefully get less silly in a minute. Currently, it is just very silly. Perfect. Alrighty, Forgotten Beast. Go cause some chaos. It's probably going to kill that dwarf in the process. In fact, I think it just did. Yep. That militia captain who got stuck out here is now no more. Anyway, Forgotten Beast is now running up the stairs. There's no other combat happening. There goes one beak dog. Go, beast, go. Okay. Runs forward. Look at that. Ooh. Ah. Lovely. It's gnarly. All right, so you know what? We're going to do the next thing, which is quite smart, which is I'm going to tell them to pull this lever. Right? And then I'm going to group my squads up here. There goes the Forgotten Beast. Powering through pretty efficiently. What's the description of a Forgotten Beast? I read it twice. Now I have to find him. Assuming he's not dead. He might be dead. Nope, there he is. Well, its head is melted, and its upper body is melted. It's a great feathered heterosaurid. It has large mandibles and a bloated body. Its clear feathers are long and narrow. Beware its fire. Naturally. Shop owner over here. Wait, what? I'm confused. Hi, Anonymous. Welcome back. All right, so we've sealed it off. So this Forgotten Beast just seems to get to have its way with everything that's left up here. My military seems to be jumping down. We're going to jump down to this layer and pull the drawbridge. No, not that one. This one. We're going to pull the drawbridge up front. Before that happens. Great. One of my dwarves just died. These goblins appear to still be fighting up in here. And then as soon as this comes down, I can tell all my dwarves to go station right here. And we'll just go kill everything that's on the surface. So here come my military, and we clean up the remainders. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Pretty glorious, if I do say so myself. And then everything that's left, well, I think the Forgotten... Oh, man, did the Forgotten Beast die? Nope, still alive. Just hanging out right beneath the surface. What a badass, dude. All of his fat's gone. He just went through liposuction. Self-inflicted liposuction, even. There's still a bunch of goblins left, but I think that we can consider them no longer issues. Your formatting went bad after you hit send. I was listening to peaceful dwarf music and Simon Sure in your headphones while your shop owner played Hey There Barbie, Let's Go Party over the speakers. Oh, were you like at a shop somewhere? Like in public where they're just like blasting Barbie Girl for some reason? Because that sounds kind of annoying. You want a zinc table. Also a table. I don't believe I have any zinc. I have to import some zinc. Yep, no zinc. I could go get candy. There's tons available. I just haven't bothered. It's not something that I go for intentionally or often even. I could go get candy, but as you can see, we really don't need it. It just kind of inflates the value of your fortress. Not something I need. Unless you're going after hell, which I'm not. In fact, I often don't go after steel because I find steel to be too strong. Won't hurt it? You're talking to me like I don't know how to mine candy safely. No, thank you. I'm good. My hammers are more than sufficient, and we don't need stuff made out of overly valuable materials. But yeah, there's like 8 spires in the basement. Okay. Roughly that. Animal dissector has been taken by a fey mood. Child is throwing a tantrum again. Yeah, no, I could have gotten candy like, I don't know, 5 years ago in game or so. Just never bothered. So, no thank you. I'm good. But our dwarf here has claimed a crafts dwarf shop. Good luck there, dwarf. But if I go down here, I think I actually mined out 1 tile of this one. Yeah, I did. Right there. When I was mining out ore veins. But yeah, there's some right there, which I could mine out if I wanted to, which I don't want to. There's one right there. At least 2 more. There's one right there. Yeah, there's at least 4, maybe 5. There's another one poking out in the cavern above this. Yeah, no interest. Not going to. Certainly not necessary. If it was something I was interested in doing, I would have done it by this point. You have a good night, Ned. Sorry for being a little, what's the word? Demanding about verbiage. Long Death has inspired you to do a 100 year fort. Totally doable. Putting lots of coinage out into the world. Adamantine coinage sounds super cool. Eventually gonna use it as an adventure and try and collect them. Yeah, that's trying to collect all of a certain craft that you've made is difficult, but a fun challenge, to put it bluntly. My God, it's in the exact same spot. So that Forgotten Beast that I have that throws fire everywhere, yeah, spawned in this exact spot, which means with 1 lever I can let this thing into my thing, and into my murder container. The Forgotten Beast, Anna, has come. A giant blob composed of salt. It has 3 stubby tails, and it undulates rhythmically. Anna. Hi, Anna. Speaking of Anna, where's that other Forgotten Beastie at? This old guy, Angelrazor. So you're all the way up there right now, yeah? How about, Angelrazor, we lock you up there, which is very easy to do, by the way. Very easy to do. I literally just need to pull this lever and... Actually, no, not that lever. I need to pull this lever, and he'll be locked in there. And then I can pull one other lever, and we can let the blob in there, so I can have 2 Forgotten Beasts trapped. Are the beasts going to fight? No, because that would be a no contest battle, and the fire-breathing one composed of scary materials would just look at it, and the poor blob would pop. No, I'm going to let the blob into that room, and then we are going to... is anybody pulling the lever? And then we are going to go in there and kill it, so that I can have access to that room again. And that upper hallway is just going to be inhabited by bigger, scarier beastie. Pull it, so it should be pulled. You're closed. You're closed. Perfect. Now I can pull this lever. Were you not here 2 minutes ago? Because we just did that. It killed half of a siege by itself. This one, though, I'm just going to kill it. Because I just want to get rid of it. The blob is not worth keeping around. Yeah, you literally missed that by about 2 minutes. It killed half of his siege by itself. Admittedly, that was like, I don't know, about 20 goblins and about 20 beak dogs and a couple trolls. We killed the rest on the surface. Speaking of, dump some bodies. You should go pull that lever and that lever. Sweet. So Blobby McBeastie will come out here, and it's weak as hell, so we're just going to kill it. Citizen Sleeper Night, that's the plan. Gonna probably do another hour of this, though. Shoutouts to the dwarf who brought a book. So this is Anna, a blob composed of salt. It has 3 stubby tails, and it undulates rhythmically. Not very scary. Like, if I were to put this thing up against goblins, it would just... like, fall apart. 143. Do you have anything to do tomorrow? What is that? Interesting. The material for the salt of this beast takes the form of, like, just a white tile. I've never seen that before. Huh. You're gonna see Tool tomorrow? Are you seeing the tour where Brass Against is opening? I think a friend of mine might be in... I can't remember where, but I have a friend who's trying to go to that tour. One injured dwarf in that. Was a bone chain, which I don't really care about all that much. There are certain artifacts I care about and some I don't. Oh, it's not one I care about. There we go. That's now shut. Brass Against his warm-up. Oh, you're in Amsterdam. Okay. Yeah, I have a friend who is seeing that tour in Las Vegas whenever that show happens. Don't get peed on. And also Patolis. Hello. Hi, how are you? Sorry, unfortunately, you can't use that command. I laughed pretty hard when I saw Matrix 4 and Brass Against was the credits song at the end. Because it was like right after she peed on somebody in the crowd. I hear. Just, I'll run it a second time because I was talking. Oh, come on. There you go. Yeah, and Etten and stored in one of your prisons, but all the Forgotten spawning in the Cave 2-3, which is open to the public, yet killing each other. And then your artifacts keeps telling you that there's lava overflowing the 3rd cave too. Oh, really? Think that there's cracks in your level's map? That's kind of awesome. I have a Gnome Petting Zoo, although they're covered in tears. I'm starting to think maybe I should let them go. I mean, this one's covered in Minotaur's blood. This one's just crying. But, you know, like they're fine. I've given them alcohol. They're just chained up. I'm trying to catch some friends for them, but no more gnomes have shown up. You'd pay $1 for that exhibit? How about, I don't know, 10 goblin teeth? But being truthful, very jealous you get to see Brass Against. I don't need to see Tool. I will live. But Brass Against, absolutely. I would say. But once again, just don't get peed on. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, the vocalist of Brass Against peed on somebody in during one of their first shows post-COVID. So, you know. Oh no, there's a honey badger. We're doomed. Honey badger slams into an obstacle. The axe lord hacks the honey badger in the right rear paw with his steel battle axe, and the severed part sails off in an arc. The honey badger slams into an obstacle. Damn. After being propelled away by a blow when the axe lord hacks the honey badger in the lower body with his steel lower body, steering the thing, and then he got propelled away by the attack. Dwarves are not trying to kill them. Gnomes are completely friendly. Gnomes are not a hostile character in the slightest. The only reason they're not as intelligent and capable as dwarves, but smaller, is because they're mute. They don't have language. They can't speak, so they can't communicate. So they're very bad at coordinating their efforts. But aside from that, they're basically just like short dwarves. Oh, maybe we need buckets. Damn, do I really have, like, no cloth? Okay, you know what? Let's, place some more gold chests in here, because I have a bunch. Yes, they're fond of drink, but they don't have any industry, which is bad. Regarding races and stereotypes made you realize that you don't like when a fantasy sci-fi race is just single human trait exaggerated? Yeah, OneNote. This is why Dwarf Fortress is so fucking cool and why so many games are so boring in OneNote. Is because, like, the actual faction, unless your lore is based around absurdity, like Warhammer, unless your entire world is based on absurdity and stereotypes, which is fine, you can do that. It just feels bad, which is what a lot of fantasy races and things end up being. So you programmed a silly tiny generator for alien races. It's kind of interesting. You should chuck it up on itch. Pretty it up, make it look kind of cool. Add 2 screenshots and put it up for free on itch, or pay what you want. See if anybody uses it. Do it. Do it! But that's also kind of neat. I'd love to see it regardless. If you don't mind sharing, of course. We got to combine it with, or something like that little alien race generator with, what's it called? Let's see if I can find it. It's on itch. Not the one I was thinking of. Turns out there's like 50 of these. The guy who made I just found something that I should add to my to-do list. The guy who made Warsim made a ship generator that just generates ASCII spaceships using the same generation tech that he used with for the faces in Warsim, but I can't find it now. Yeah, I can't find it. That's unfortunate. Although, this is kind of rad. Sorry. Sometimes you just find the coolest shit ever when you go onto itch.io. Look at this. It's a pixel art space background generator. You give them the... Let's just see, actually. And it fucking generates you, like, space pixels. That's actually kind of real neat. That is cool. I might fuck around with that a little bit. Noted. Anyway, why was I teleported up here? Some migrants have arrived, despite the danger. Good to hear that migrants are still arriving, despite the danger. Dream of raising a family and you dislike helping others. Tries to do things correctly each time. You brave? Nope. Join the military. You'll do fine. Dream of creating a great work of art. Already did. Taylor, way ahead of you. I'll bet you could, yeah. One of those useful little tools. It might have licensing agreements, but I'm sure you're good to go. Okay, that's a legendary dwarf. A legendary bookbinder, hey? Really? Really now? It's 146, eh? There's white. Often do you see a legendary bookbinder? Make you a scribe, I think. He was mastering a skill utterly fearless when confronted with danger. Well, join the military, obviously. Book of Monsters. That's a video game, I think. This guy has a creature generator and it's amazing. Hold on. I'll just go find it. Deep fold, I'm assuming? I think I'm going to follow them on itch. Oh my god, this is actually kind of amazing. Sorry, I'm just like I'm looking at this. Like, this is this monster generator. That is kind of incredible, actually. Holy shit. Collection of 2,000 AI-generated monsters and their descriptions. You see, if this was made by somebody who was evil and not awesome, this wouldn't be a free piece of software. This would be an NFT collection. That is awesome. I'm scared I'm going to get a naked person, so I'm going to close that. Well, you can go join the Inky Kindness and be their militia captain, I think. To 106 dwarfs. Lexus generators, yep. Hannibal Lecter is obsessed with bookbinding now. I mean, if I found a Hannibal Lecter that was obsessed with bookbinding, I'd be, like, fascinated by that. Just kind of wondering why the dwarves aren't collecting those bodies from the surface. So I actually did a deep dive into NFTs recently and did a lot of research. I can confirm NFT bads. Duh. Thank you for your input. It was enlightening. Truly, truly enlightening. How else do you become a legendary bookbinder? By binding a lot of books. Or being a vampire. Did you watch the One Folding Ideas video? That's like a 2 hour long movie about why NFTs are bad. I'm actually kind of curious about how many views that video has. Genuinely curious. I'm gonna go look that video up. $7.7 million. Holy fuck. That's a lot of view. Hasn't uploaded anything since. I mean, I wouldn't either. I should put this kind of ADHD and energy into like stock trading maybe. There was a few NPR stories you looked up on their own general market research on the playing their role as a prospective buyer. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's not too difficult to find that. Yes, the line indeed goes up. Although currently the line is certainly not going up. I mean, maybe if you look at it cross-eyed upside down, it looks like it's going up, but currently it's not. Yeah, no, bookbinding is actually a useful skill to have if you have a lot of books written, but I don't have a lot of books written. And also my library doesn't actually have that many books in it. Only 49. Yeah. And we have no writing material in there. Kind of sucks. What is your full title, Dwarf? See, your guilt. Well, you need buckets. So bucket, wood, 10. My mayor wants a zinc table. Unfortunately, I have no zinc, so... Chief Medical Dwarf, why are you sitting here and socializing? Also going to give you Tavern Keeper, which means I want you to go serve booze to those dwarves who are in hospital right now, if possible. That'd be real nice if you could do that. Sweet, I do have dwarves bringing them water. It's taking them a bit. But I don't know. I mean, to me, it didn't take much research to kind of make up my mind on NFTs. I think that the technology behind them is interesting, but turning every single thing on Earth into a marketplace is bad. Because it's like, I can't afford a house because the market's inflated. Now imagine if I couldn't afford to play video games because the market was inflated. Which is what would happen real quick. Because people are real good at fucking over, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Marketplaces in video games. Like, really good. Okay, how come nobody's... Okay, you know what? Fuck this noise. I'm going to change this from being a hospital and make this out here into a hospital again. Let's move those dwarves out there. In fact, they look like they're just standing up and moving. We're also going to move that traction bench out there. It looks like they both just stood up and went and got food. Well, that's good. I was thinking it will delete them safely from the game. To my surprise, you found... I mean, yeah, that'll happen. Do you... Wait, hold on a second. Do you think that giving artifacts and items to traders deletes it from your world? Because that is far from the case. Certain items can become hidden if they're stolen. Like, if a kobold steals an item, it can become hidden, and then it's very difficult to actually get back. But when it comes to... No, they're not. Named items are not deleted. Any named item is not deleted. If it's like a rope, yes, it's deleted. If it's like a crown, yes, it's deleted. If it's a shield that was named by a dwarf, it's not deleted. If it's an artifact, it's not deleted. If it's a masterwork, it's not deleted. But normal items, yes. Like blank, plain, unnamed items, they're deleted. But, like if you sell, I don't know, a stack of 500 like wool cloth, yeah, that'll be deleted. Don't put a dwarf that is crafting an artifact on a kill order. Don't ever order any of your dwarves to kill any of your dwarves ever, for any reason. It'll always end badly. Just word of advice. Don't ever tell your dwarves to kill one of your dwarves. Ever. It'll end with your entire fort just collapsing momentarily. If you have a dwarf that's building an artifact that you know you can't finish, just build a wall around them. And wait for them to go nuts. And you want to know why? It's pretty simple, Trizuka. It's because if a dwarf is friends with another dwarf, and you kill that dwarf, the dwarf that they're friends with, the dwarf that was their friend is going to go, hey, fuck you, you killed my friend. And they're going to go try and kill the person who killed their friend. And then if that person somehow managed to kill the person who killed their friend, then all of that dwarf's friends go, hey, fuck you, you killed our friend. And then they try and kill that, the dwarf that killed the dwarf who killed the person who killed his friend. And this just escalates. It's sort of a problem in the game, but what's even better is if it happens enough and important people, like let's just say an outpost liaison or a mayor or a king is in your fortress, it can actually start a civil war within your faction that can spread throughout the entire faction, that can kill the entire faction around the entire world, not just that one dwarf. So, do not tell your dwarves to kill one of your dwarves for any reason, even if they're a were creature. Like, just do not do it. It is kind of amazing, and it's kind of awesome, but just be aware it's very dangerous to do and can end with the absolute, complete, and total utter destruction of your entire fucking fortress. But if you accept that, then go nuts. Did I ever open the front door? I did. Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, why is they not leaving? Well, it's because I never turned the fucking burrows off, duh. I would advise playing in one world, and specifically playing a specific faction for a while. And then when you get tired, play a different faction. Because you'll notice a lot of really interesting things about Dwarf Fortress that you wouldn't notice otherwise. As an example, all dwarves from the same faction have similar genetics, and thus look similar, right down to skin tone, hair color, the shape of their nose, whether or not they have messy teeth, and the size of their ears. All of the dwarves in this faction have abnormally large ears, to the point where I'm pretty sure they're all just Quark. Like, they're all Ferengi, essentially. They all have messy teeth, big noses, and big ears that flap. Is literally, like, ears so large they flap, is a description that a lot of these dwarves have. Which is a descriptor that I love. It's very funny to me. The only issue is probably shells. I've had dwarves die to shells. But, I mean, if somebody's new to the game, like, there's lots of reasons why that'll happen. Why you could fail artifacts. And plenty of people are new to the game, and I wouldn't like discount, like just lack of knowledge of how to acquire items quickly as a problem. Speaking of NFTs, thanks Rami Ishmael for tweeting this out. Unfortunately, to the vastly uneven ratio of men to women who signed up for our waitlist, we have decided to put the Bored Ape Yacht Club dating app on hold indefinitely. Too many bros. We sincerely appreciate your interest and support. I mean, if VR chat can't successfully make a dating app, neither can the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Palm face, yeah. Pretty much. Sorry, I palmed so hard I don't have a face anymore. You do not have luck with murky ponds or cave ponds, but sometimes when you empty some. I feel like if you want shells, you basically have to be close to salt water. I might be wrong with that, but it certainly feels like you just can't get that outside of being close to salt water. The wiki says genetic information is saved for every historical figure, which each culture derives a number of tissue colors and their appearance modifiers from. Yeah. You're rolling a lemon haze? Hell yeah! I unfortunately have none of that left. That's what I had recently. Currently, currently all I have is pink apricot, which is very nice. A little bit less intense than what I had previously. Skywalker OG has become your favorite indica? I mean, if I were to pick a strain to get of any sort, it's always going to be Alaskan Thunderfuck. Like if I have an option, I'm going straight to the Alaskan Thunderfuck. But I don't usually have an option, so I usually just go for whatever is affordable that doesn't smell like garbage. So no sour diesel, please. And unfortunately, a lot of that stuff smells like absolute garbage. Oh, also, just over 2 weeks from now is my birthday. June 3rd, which is a Friday. There will be a Friday stream that week on my birthday. Probably last for about 8 hours, and it's going to be a charity stream. I haven't decided what charity we're going to raise money for this year. Usually we either do Doctors Without Borders or what's it called? We usually either do Doctors Without Borders or juvenile diabetes, but I need to look a little closely this year just because of the state of the world and figure out what we're going to go for. If we, what's the word? And, we're gonna obviously aim to beat what we did the year before, which is usually just under $2,000 is what we raise on my birthdays. And probably what we'll do is the same gimmick as previous years where I just get a bunch of extremely stupid and bad tile sets, get together a nice big collection of awful tile sets. And then as we raise money, I will swap to progressively worse tile sets until the game ceases to be playable. I will have the Matrix tile set with the correct color scheme. I will probably use that tile set that's just a picture of my face again, so that like things can be like a bit of my ear. I will probably use that Nicolas Cage tile set where everything is Nicolas Cage's face. So, you know, maybe we'll have to do like a zoomed in Nicolas Cage tile set where it's just like all the way zoomed in on Nicolas Cage's face. Anyway, so I will have a bunch of terrible tile sets. If you want to recommend tile sets, because like I'm probably going to put out a video on the YouTube channel kind of announcing this a couple days before. But if you want to request a tile set for this, just DM me or throw it in the chat or something. I still have some set up from last year, but we'll generate a world and it'll just be a normal Dwarf Fortress playthrough, aside from the fact that I'm going to come up with a bunch of things that you guys can throw money at to make me be mean to my dwarves or nice to my dwarves. Like I was kind of thinking like $50 could make me say, I'm not gonna throw out numbers, but let's just say a number could potentially make me drop a dwarf in lava. Just as an example, as a possibility or an example. I could be convinced to dump some dwarves in lava in exchange for money for a charity. I mean, like that seems like a good reason to kill a dwarf if I ever heard one. So stuff like that. It'll be fun. We'll try and cause as much chaos as possible. Someone donates $1,000, I'll just dig too deep. You know, we'll just make it work. And it'll probably end with the fort going and burning down, and it'll be a good time. So we'll do a one-off fort on my birthday. That's the plan for this year. Which is June 3rd. Because I like raising money for charity on my birthday. So that's what we're going to do on my birthday. Which means you'll get 4 streams that week. Ain't that exciting? Which is actually like kind of fine because the first stream that week, which will be the 31st, it's going to be very short because I have a concert to go to that evening. So I go to a concert first night of the week. So we'll do probably some shorter streams that week, but you'll get a Friday stream. So that's a bonus, I think. Especially because, like, the end of that month, I'm not going to be streaming for a week because I will be going to a... I will be going on vacation. I'm going to be going to Quebec for 6 days to hang out with my little sister and her boyfriend. So, should be fun. But I will not be on for a little bit at the end of the month of June for that reason. Also, if you live around the Montreal area and want to hang out, call me at some point in June. Things can be set up. Just like, you know, don't stab me to death in an alleyway, please. That would be suboptimal for acquiring more streams. As the famous last words generally go, I've hung out with a number of people who I've met online, and I haven't been stabbed to death yet. So, I generally have a decent amount of faith in my audience to not murder me. Oh, hey, chat, guess who just offered me a sponsorship? I'll delete that. You all know their name. Melt metal objects. Keep melting metal objects. Well, at least we were able to make a bunch of those silver warhammers when we melted all that silver. Working through those frickin' blocks, god damn. That is a lot of gems, too. Also super cool that I do have emeralds in this fort. Today at the concert, a friend was there who I met in the Barons of Chat of OG. Wow, really? In 2006? Was that an intended meetup, or did you just run into him? But yeah, that checks out. I mean, one of my friends, I don't know if this is true or not because I've never fact-checked it, but one of my friends used to always claim that he was in a WoW guild with Corpse Grinder. Which is, based on how many horde tattoos that dude has, that doesn't surprise me, actually. Welcome back, Bread Knight. Ooh! Which means you got back at the perfect time, Bread Knight, because a vile dank of forceness has arrived. They are from an image of 2 prickleberries. The image is a symbol of the hate of praises, a goblin civilization. It is made from beak dog bone. All right, so this is the hate of praises, a different goblin group, which means the army's probably gonna be significantly larger. But I'm gonna lock all my boys inside, all my dudes inside. Wait, you wanna know the best part about this one? Is I just have that Forgotten Beast on the surface this time. So, we can let this get a little hot here. Looks like everything's inside. Let's just get that lever pulled. It's goblins! Yes, that it is. Look at them. Look at them all! And the best part is they get to say hello to my... Oh, please don't run into my fortress, by the way, creature. That would be a little bit awkward. They get to say hello to the beast. Here it come. There isn't even a goblin there right now. And this thing's kind of terrifying. I love how it's killing all my livestock first. All right, here it goes. There's a goblin. There's a beak dog. All right, how many of them are there? 150? Let's fucking go. Probably still spawning onto the map. Delivery of new Goblinite? You bet. Although, might not actually get so much of this Goblinite. What's going on? So this is a Forgotten Beast. Spoilers, I suppose. Where is he? He's not dead, is he? Lord. Nope. Not dead. So this is Angelrazor, a Forgotten Beast. A great feathered Hediosaurid. It has large mandibles and it squirms and fidgets. It has large mandibles and a bloated body. Its clear feathers are long and narrow. Beware, it's fire. It's a fire-breathing dinosaur from the caverns. I'm introducing it to my friends, the goblins. And I think he's doing a pretty fine job so far, honestly. The problem is now there's a Forgotten Beast above ground in the world. And admittedly, there is a rather large set of goblins there, but they need to kill it. So, get him. Get him! But it's breathing balls of fire at these goblins. And most of that is smoke. Look at that. They might be able to get it, though. I'm pretty good faith that they'll be able to take him out. Come on. Oh, yeah, look, they're on him. Yeah, they're on him. He's falling apart now. They're beating the crap out of him. Look at that. I was a little worried they weren't going to be able to take him out, but hey, they got him. They're not leaving, are they? Perfect. So, now that that's done, to change monster class to remastered beast? I mean, it's not like it was trained, so I had no way of getting it back in there, so I kind of needed them to kill it, for whatever that's worth. That's the one I need to pull, I think. Oh, remembered beast? Nah. Not remastered. That's my bad. You didn't typo it. I misread it. So now I get to set my actual trap against them. Why are they just standing there? Come on, guys. You have a direct line of entry into my fortress. I wouldn't use a cabinet. I like using statues, but yeah, you can do that. Oh, actually, the best way to lock them into a prison is with a series of like 50 locked doors. But that's a bit too cheesy. I don't generally do that. You can, though. Looks like these beak dogs insist on going first. Not that I blame them. I mean, that was the carnage left over from their initial attempts. And this was the other squad that was absolutely obliterated by that burning beast. Except that was down in here inside of a tunnel. So there's no body. There's almost no bodies left. They're mostly just like, oh, there's some teeth. And good win. Space pirate. I'm kind of annoyed that they're just sitting there. I'm going to need them to walk into the trap eventually. I'm worried that these trolls are just kind of having a brain shut-off moment. I'm sorry, what? Oh, troll is fighting with one of my beekeepers. Why are you all the way up here? Silly. I mean, rip. Anyway, rip that beekeeper. That's what she said. Base pirate. Forgotten beasts are forgotten beasts. They're not intelligent beasts, though. Yay, Bread Knight. I'm glad you were able to save that their friend of yours. Charge. Oh, well. Not much left of you. I was kind of hoping that'd make them come in. Those trolls moving finally? Where are them beak dogs at? All right, well, the beak dogs are going in slowly. I think I'm going to tell this squad to go kill these beak dogs. Let's just clear out the tunnel. Maybe send one dwarf. Doesn't generally work as well as you want. If they're not going to enter the fort, they're not going to enter the fort. And sending one dwarf would probably just kill that dwarf. Not exactly like the best idea. No offense. But that's kind of a bad idea in my experience. Where are you going? There you go. That's where I want you to go. Follow Ham Bloco. I mean, I've played, no offense to you, I've played significantly more than 2 weeks of this game. I've played more than 2 weeks of this fortress. If I ever make a game in lore with ancient evils, they ain't gonna be called Forgotten, Mostly Remembered. Ain't Nobody X, it's terrifying, but I forgot what it was. Yeah, that is true. We're not too far off with that statement. There's a tame drake. It's probably a duck, because that's what a drake is. Very important to remember that drakes are ducks. Male duck, specifically. And no, a male duck does not carry your letters. How's Long Death been, by the way? Uh-oh, I lost a wrestler. Well, we played some of it yesterday. Still good. Still trucking along, getting close to 400 years. Male duck. The easy way to put it is look it up. A drake is the technical term. Mallard is a specific species, I think, but not necessarily the same thing. All right, well. Pesky goblins. They must just be sieging us. So I'm going to do a thing. But this isn't throwing shit at the wall. I'm going to try resetting their pathing. I'm going to close that bridge up, and then I'm going to open it up. What do you mean, Dr. Blind? That's a duck from Duck Game with a cigar in its mouth. One of the OG emotes from this channel. Resetting their pathing. Nope, that's not going to do it. All right, well, let's do the more dangerous one then. Go down here, and let's open this. Which is going to lower that bridge. It's a fantastic record. Chris's music is wonderful. They must be using human tactics. This is annoying. Well, guess what I can do? Where's that webby forgotten beast? This thing. Oh, Gez. Except you do it from the screen that you find by hitting the letter N on your keyboard. Hit the letter N on your keyboard and you'll find the broker. We're going to pull this lever. And I'm going to pull that lever. Perfect. Thunk. We're going to let a forgotten beast go after these goblins. Just have to be real careful. It's all going to be about timing. There is apparently one right here, too. There's a lot of them. Where is this fucking thing at? So, what I'm going to do... The way we're going to do this, I'm going to permit those tiles. Looks like Goten the Miner is brave enough to take the task. Oh shit, trolls are moving. Wait, are they leaving? Doesn't look like it. There isn't, like, something trying to murder me down here, is there? Wait, what were they fighting with? Oh, a one-humped camel. Okay, then what was spooking the dwarf? Fish dissector? Okay. I'm not gonna let I'm gonna let specific dwarf who picks up the job do it. Why do they keep canceling right there? What the fuck's going on? Nothing in the hallway. Let's just turn on row number 1 as well. Whoever picks up the job gets to do it. We let the dwarves volunteer. Okay, so dwarves. There we go. Let them do this. So as soon as... Oh, for fuck's sake. Why do they keep canceling this? I don't actually know. There is, like, no logical reason for them to cancel this job. But they keep getting up here and then canceling it. There's... You know, let's add a burrow. Find this burrow by this zone right here. Add this burrow to this. Bizarre. So how to trade? Now that's a fun subject. I'm dealing with Forgotten Beast right now, though, so... No offense, but I'm going to have a hard time explaining things for the next couple minutes. Here it cometh. Although, fortunately, this one, no fireballs. This one, just fire webs. So it's much less dangerous in close proximity than the other one. All right, so... I got a lever to pull. Got a couple levers to pull, actually. Let's give this a few seconds. They need to pull that lever before this guy gets across that bridge, or we have to kill it. It's going to get across. Okay, well, send the whole military. That didn't go anywhere as well as I'd planned, and it has webs. Fortunately, it's not a spider, which means it's probably not got poison. It's just a gigantic humanoid composed of lignite. It has short horns, and it squirms and fidgets. Beware its webs. This is going to be a bloodbath, probably. There goes one of my military dwarfs. Two, I think? Nope, just one. Jack Nurik's dead. Sorry, Jack Nurik. And it's dead. Who got it? Looks like a Gnome, the militia captain, says, "Can it all end so quickly? This does not scare me." Militia captain in the Forgotten Beast's right foot. His left hand, but he broke the leg. But it is dead. All right. Well, that gate's shut. Doesn't really help me much, though. All right. Well, that plan is a wash. So let's pull that lever. And pull that lever. Front door's open, though. Thanks, Stone. All right, well, we were able to kill the Forgotten Beast. Goblins decided it's time to come attack me yet? Like I said, they seem to be using human tactics, which is really a bother. It is really a bother. I could just send my squads out and kill them. That is also an option. Chat, what do you think? Do we just send the squads out to kill them? Because I do have a good number of military dwarves that are well trained. And there's only like 100 of them. That or we can wait them out. Which is safer. Much safer. Have to keep an eye on them. But item on display, really. The second they show up, we smack them. Yeah. In case things go horribly wrong, Dwarf Fortress is a game about things going horribly wrong. But I've fought and won against armies bigger than that. It's just a matter of whether or not I want to do it. Thinking about it, not really. Is the answer to that? Not really. Oh, here's the problem. I'll say this. 15 bucks in bits or tips, I'll just send the dwarves up to go fight the fucking thing. Otherwise, we wait it out. Because streamers gotta pay bills. And currently, bills ain't getting paid this month. And I'm totally fine with just waiting it out. No, not my mountain gnomes. Mountain gnome showed up and the goblins killed it. You bastards. You absolute assholes. Okay, I'll look later. They're killing these poor gnomes. What a bunch of dicks. And they're also chasing a camel. I like how the mountain gnome is just glaring at him in the combat log. Well, I'm sure that there's more of them. They're just not here currently. I mean, I do still intend on increasing that collection. Look at all that trampled grass. So much exposed dirt. Are they just like pummeling a gnome? Yep. They're just pummeling a gnome. Dudes are completely naked and unarmed. That's so mean. I have no idea. You can't tame them. I know that, because they're considered sentient. They seem to be I'm just guessing here. They seem to be a lot like kobolds, where you can catch them. Maybe they'll make babies, but you can't really do anything with them. All right, where are you headed? Make sure there's nothing coming down this entryway. Why is there a dwarf up here? No, it's fine. Well, they do have direct paths straight into the fort. They just need to show up. Walk through the doors. It's kind of a pain. But fortunately, underground, we have an unlimited supply of food, essentially, and because of that, an unlimited supply of booze. It's not exactly difficult to wait them out. Just a bit annoying. But generally the answer to can you breed insert creature here in Dwarf Fortress? Maybe is almost always the answer. I once had 2 goblins, or a bunch of goblins, it was a small squad of goblins stuck in an area for so long they started having children. There's another mountain gnome. So, like, technically you can breed goblins on the map. Or goblins will breed on the map if you leave them in a locked up space long enough. And I've been trying to get Ettins to breed in Longdeath for hundreds of years, to no luck whatsoever. I just want them to come in here so I can burninate you. You have no Hall of Horrors to invite your Goblinite delivery. Speak English. I literally have this big-ass hallway that leads directly into the fortress with no resistance. And so theoretically, they should just waltz straight into the fort, which is what they've done every other time they've attacked. Except for this one. So theoretically, they should walk straight into the fort. But if they decide to siege, doesn't matter how good your entry hall is. They will just wait outside. So you need to do me a huge favor, Samartian. You don't ever ask questions. You make demands and statements, and it's bothersome. You have no Hall of Horrors for your Goblinite delivery? That's a statement. That's not a question. You put a question mark at the end, but it's not a question. Yeah, you have to ask them to go to the depot. You have to select the depot and then press R to request them to show up. And then you have to wait for them to walk over there. And then you can trade. Freeways. As we wait for these T's to sod off or attack us. Dwarf Fortress don't do anything automatic. Almost passed out of initial hypothermia. Why are you typing on a phone and not calling an ambulance? This is like that very famous tweet that got retweeted a bajillion times because the lady is just like, "My son is drowning in my pool" on Twitter. That's what this is like right now. Poor fucking gnome, dude. Run, buddy. Run. Get away. I realize you want to slurp the alcohol, but it's not gonna work. This gnome dodged pretty efficiently. I mean, yeah, that doesn't seem safe. But yeah, no, that definitely reads like that very famous tweet where the lady was just like, "My son's drowning in a pool," and people are like, "Go fucking rescue him." It's like, I don't know what to do. My son's drowning in a pool. You're just like, I almost died of hypothermia, or almost passed out due to initial hypothermia. It's like, get a hot water bottle. A cup of tea. Why are you typing in my Twitch chat? But, geez, that sucks. Glad you're okay. I almost got hit by a car over the weekend. Oh, hey. They're naming their shields now. On the bright side, these dwarves are all getting a nice long break to party, though. That's good. They do seem to be moving somewhat. I mean, they were originally in that big red patch. They keep trampling the little bits of grass that are here and then moving slightly. Alcohol is very rarely worth much. Rare materials are worth a lot more. Like metals and things from underground. Stuff that grows on the surface almost has no value. And alcohol can be made from stuff on the surface. Alright, geez. What is that gray bee? It's a big dog recruit. Sometimes, how does that work? What if they recruited this beak dog into? It's just a funny statement. It's like, they have a beak dog recruit. All right. What exactly is a beak dog recruit, if I might ask? There's quite a few things that are worth more than they should be worth. Which I'm assuming are all going to get nerfed in the premium version. But, we'll see. I just hope Tarn fixes metal duping because drives me nuts. So tired of people asking me to dupe my metals. I'm kind of just waiting for this fight to end so that I can, like, play more Citizen Sleeper, to be honest. Huh. Speaking of games that are never releasing, I think according to a tweet I'm looking at, Star Citizen might actually release next year. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Killed a giant leopard gecko as if he did something wrong. Poor guy. On the bright side, we were able to cage a mountain. No. Hey, we got another one for the collection. X to doubt. Will there be a poor person graphics option? No. For Star Citizen? Come on, Star Citizen is for elite gamers with billions of dollars only. Those of you peasants with anything prior, I don't know, RTX 2080 Ti's, fuck off. If you want an even remotely passable frame rate. All I know is I can't play that game because they have, like, even if I wanted to, which I don't, I wouldn't be able to play Star Citizen because they've dedicated so heavily to head bob and helmets. Those are two things that just make me want to throw up immediately in video games. And every single person I've asked is just like, oh, well, you could just wear a different helmet that doesn't obscure your vision so much. I'm like, so what you're saying is like a third of this game, or maybe not a third, but a large portion of like the gear in this game will just make me throw up. And they're like, yep. Never gonna play that game. Oh shit, died due to dehydration. Oh fuck, that's a bummer. That must have happened due to the strict burrows. I didn't even think about that. Fuck. It takes a lot to do that, but they managed it. I have some streamers that I like watching who stream a lot of Star Citizen, and I just refuse to watch them because that game makes me feel ill. Just watching footage of it makes me feel ill. But fucking whatever. But, well, at least we're getting our forging stuff done. That's pretty good. Forging copper picks, steel greaves. Good shit. But still no, you don't feel ill, you just don't like it. I mean, that's also fair. I don't mind realism in video games. I think realism in video games can be really cool if it's done correctly. I just think that the vast majority of situations where people try to do realism in video games do a shitty fucking job of it. We're gonna seal this off, and I'm gonna. No, so they're sieging. They're not. They're treating it like a human siege, which means they're waiting for me to come out to them. So I'm just gonna wait them out. That or their pathing is bugged. Do I need to bait the siege? Probably. Do I give a shit about baiting the siege? Absolutely not. If they don't want to go in through the tunnel, I will just simply lock the door and they don't get the opportunity. I've given them plenty of opportunities. I just don't care. Just gonna seal the thing off. Wait for them to leave. That is up to them. I've got things underground I need to deal with more. Maybe tomorrow we'll just send Forgotten Beasts after them. But I'm not going to send dwarves out to bait them in. Absolutely not. I think probably what happened is that Forgotten Beast, because they were pathing towards it, I think that Forgotten Beast just broke the pathing of the trolls, and I think that these guys were following the trolls, because they always have, like, a leader character that they follow, and it may have been one of the trolls. So if the leader character was one of the trolls, it is possible that they made it like halfway there. The leader character died. Now they don't know where to go. Trading is a complicated process that requires practice in Dwarfort. Takes a few times to kind of understand it. All right, let's turn off that and let them go do their thing. But, you know, today was productive overall. We did 2 nice big chunks. Yeah, if it says that they're leaving it soon, it doesn't mean that they are gone unless they're actually like physically leaving. But anyway, we made a lot of progress today. We mined out a bunch. We did a bunch more steel making. We did defeat several sieges. We are now at war with every single goblin faction instead of just one. Or at least every goblin faction that I know of. All the major ones anyway. Tomorrow there will be more fighting and carnage in this fortress. You bought a silver mace, hell yeah. But we've been streaming for 9 hours. The stream isn't over yet. We have a good couple hours left. I'm pretty much done with dwarves for the day. So I'm going to save here, and we will pick this fort back up tomorrow, probably around 10:30 a.m. Pacific. I turn my stream on at around 9 a.m. Pacific, but we usually get to dwarves by about 10:30. We are going to go play some Citizen Sleeper for the remainder of the stream. So if you're piecing out, just let me check something real quick. Of course, I'd prefer you stick around. You are allowed to talk about Dwarfort in my chat. That's fine. But who is on? I'm just seeing if there's any Dwarfy streamers I can recommend if anybody else is streaming, but I don't have the directory up right now. Tekit is on. So if you're looking for someone to watch play dwarfs, go watch this guy. He also is currently no, he's not currently AFK, but he makes very good tutorials on YouTube. That being said, like I said, we are cooling off for dwarfs for the day. We're gonna go move over to Citizen Sleeper, which is some of the best writing I've seen in video games and I don't know, since like Disco Elysium. So we're gonna go read stories with interesting, compelling characters and drink alcohol that we can't get drunk on because we're a robot, and pay off debts and deal with bounty hunters. Should be fun. Great sci-fi game. So that's what we're gonna do for the remainder of the stream. Why do people keep calling it Resident Sleeper? Like, it doesn't even rhyme with Resident Sleeper. Like, if it was called, like, Returning Sleeper or something, I would understand it. But